Today, we're going to be talking about how you can get more 3 stars with the TH11 Pekka Smash Attack Strategy and how to deal with both multis and single target infernos. What's going on, my friends? My name's Corrupt, and that is right, guys. We're going to be going over the Pekka Smash Attack Strategy at Town Hall 11. It has been a long time since I last covered this attack strategy, about 7 months ago. So there's a lot that has changed in that 7 months, and this is no different. So this attack strategy is still very basic, very simple, and you can do this versus both singles and multi-target infernos. We're going to be doing a live attack a little bit later on, just to give you that example of dealing with single target infernos. But let's go over the basics, the stuff that you really need to know. So for starters, we're going to be drawing here on the screen just to give you that idea. So we're going to be first doing a queen walk that's going to consist of getting into the base, but we want to mainly create a funnel. This is going to make sure that our Pekkas and bowlers can go into this direction. This is exactly where we want to send our Pekkas and bowlers at. So we create one side of the funnel with the queen walk, and then we're going to be using the king or siege barrack on the other side. If you don't have access to the siege barrack, don't worry. You can also use the stone slammer. It's a great way to control the path, and it was technically the original siege machine that you needed to use the Pekka Smash. So that is why in this example we're showing you guys the use of the stone slammer instead of the siege barrack. However, we also want to go over the jump spell usage. The jump spells should be used in order to get in, unless of course you're going to be using a super wall breaker, but in this case we don't have any super troops enabled. And the other part is we're going to be using the other jump spell to get into the core. We want to make sure that everything at this point would then be driving through from one inferno tower to the other inferno. That's really all the planning and the step-by-step things. In terms of just really using this and hitting in either a trophy pushing or farming setting, you will be able to easily get through this. That 30 seconds of planning is going to be very easy for you. So this kind of gives you guys a really good idea of exactly what we're doing with this attack. So starting off, we're starting with the queen walk, and we're going to be using this queen walk in order to establish a funnel. And usually we would want to control her path by using maybe a baby dragon to focus on one section. But dealing with the clan castle, if it's fairly on the outside like this one is, where we have a headhunter and inferno dragon CC. This one's a very deadly CC because of that inferno dragon. So we have to spend spells to get rid of it. However, the attacker here is able to easily move through it. And while the queen is moving towards the section that he wants to send in his Pekkas, he's going to start creating the funnel on the other side with the king and the wizard. Since he's not using the siege barrack, he's going to create the funnel there by just using the king. You can also use the siege barrack there too if you have access to it, but in this case we do not. So now we're going to be using the jump spells, and we're going to be using the Pekkas and bowlers to continue to move in. The first jump spell here, you can see, opens us up into multiple compartments. The Inferno, Wizard Tower, and also getting us access to the Eagle Artillery compartment. And as we're pushing in, protecting all the Pekkas and bowlers via the Warden ability is going to provide a lot of support. If we pause it here, you may have noticed the use of the Rage, heal, and the jump spell. We're using the heal to support the Pekkas and the bowlers, as they're going to be getting hit by a lot of heavy fire like the Expos and maybe a single target inferno. This is where a free spell is going to come into play. But another thing that you need to keep in mind is going to be the stone slammer. The stone slammer is really going to be used to control the pathing of the Pekkas and the bowlers. Be very careful though of where you place it, because sometimes it could really disturb the pathing of the Pekkas and make it to where they're going to stay on the outside. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this. But the stone slammer will go primarily for defensive buildings. So that means that even if it does pop open, you will have a haste with balloons, or you could have the heal spell with the hog riders to easily move through. It doesn't really matter which one you bring. Balloons are definitely going to be a better choice more often than not, but they are a good addition to it. Another thing that you could use with this is going to be the lightning spells. So this is something that is not going to be very common to use, but you could use the lightning spells on the Eagle Artillery to get rid of that and allow your P.E.K.K.A.s and bowlers to walk around the base. That's very situational, and it's not really the best use of it. However, as far as I would say, it's an option, and you could definitely go ahead and go in for it. So, that gives you guys an example of using this, but let's go into a live attack dealing with single target Infernos. So here we go, guys. We've got a fairly decent base. Some of the archer towers and cannons aren't maxed, but we've got the X-Bills maxed here, Infernos and Eagle Artillery are maxed, so let's see if we can hit this one. So, I want to take a look at the Clan Castle, and I want to take a look at where those single target Infernos are. So, let's do this. Let's go ahead and start off with the Queen up top here. Let's use a balloon to look for any seeking air mines, drop in the healers, and we're going to use the baby dragon in order to create a little bit of a funnel. Now, the benefit on this base design is that it is a very symmetrical base, so I can easily take advantage of this, and I think we're going to crack this open by using the super wall breaker. And now let's drop in the P.E.K.K.A.s, the bowlers, and we also have an ice golem here. We're going to drop in the warden right behind, drop a jump to get into this part of the base. We're going to drop in that rage, and that should move everything in. I'm going to use the warden ability early to protect everything as they continue to move in. This is looking good. Let's see, let's go ahead and use another rage spell with the big group of P.E.K.K.A.s and bowlers as they continue to move in. I'm going to use another jump spell to open up access here, and I'm going to go ahead and use the stone slammer over here. We're going to drop in that first freeze on that single target Inferno to keep them alive. So we're going to pay attention mainly with the P.E.K.K.A.s here, as they are going to get hit really hard. So we're going to make sure that we're healing them or keeping them frozen. And now we have the stone slammer here. And here we go. I can drop in the heal spell right here to protect all of them. And this is just going to allow us to get through. We do still have the queen ability, and there's a lot left up, but we still have P.E.K.K.A.s still up. We still have the king up. Looks like we're going to have to use the ability, but this is looking very, very good. And you can see how easy this attack strategy is. We still have P.E.K.K.A.s up, even though we don't have any more healers. Just take a look at that. So even still, some of those cannons and archer towers weren't necessarily maxed. The base was still really decent. And you can see how easy it is to really 3-star with this one. So we're going to drop in the archer over there. We don't have anything else remaining. Looks like we got lucky and we're going to be able to take that building out. But it looks like we're going to be getting a nice split of our army. And that is how it is done. That gives you a really good idea that you can do this versus single target Infernos. Now, if I were me, I'd probably recommend bringing in like balloons in the Stone Slammer instead of Hog Riders, but we still got the job done, still got some really decent loot, and that is all that matters. Let's give you guys another example, but instead of using 4 healers, we got 8 healers. Now, I wanted to show you guys one final replay before we actually ended off this video, and this one is gonna be a total shocker to you. This one is using 8 healers. We're not using anything more than 8 healers here, and this is crazy because you're going to see how to use this. Now, we are going to be doing a Queen Walk on one side, King on the other, P.E.K.K.A.s, Siege Barrack, Bowlers, and the Warden straight into the middle. Now, we don't really have a concrete way of dealing with the Clan Castle if it's an E-Drag. However, in this case, we don't need to worry. It was just a super minion CC, one of the more common CC types that you're seeing right now in the game. So you could either use the Warden ability to protect the P.E.K.K.A.s and Bowlers, but more often than not, if you're going to deal with an E-Drag, make sure that the Queen is going in with your attack. And notice how the P.E.K.K.A.s and Bowlers are easily moving in thanks to the jump spell. We're getting access to the Eagle, Inferno Tower, and we're moving through with ease. The other thing is, you'll see the use of the Hog Riders. This is something that I did show you guys within the live attack, but you're using the Hog Riders in the Siege Barrack, so you got extra wizards and a P.E.K.K.A. to really support the P.E.K.K.A. push going in. But the Hog Riders here from the Siege Barrack are enough to really support, and if you use the heal spell, you're going to offer yourself a lot of value without having to use the heal on the P.E.K.K.A.s. Now, take a look at this base. We still have a large portion of it left. However, a lot of it can be reached from the outside by Bowlers and the Queen. So that's the reason why we walked our Queen around the base. We didn't want her to kind of walk in a certain direction, so we wanted to make sure that it was really easy for her to move through. Other than this, you'll see that the P.E.K.K.A.s are going to have an easy time tanking and still opening up compartments left, right, and center since they deal a ton of damage. And notice another thing is that the healers on the P.E.K.K.A.s are going to keep them alive more often than not. And this is the reason to why Pekka Smash is one of the strongest, and that's another reason to why Pekka Bobat also works so well, because the P.E.K.K.A.s underneath healers are just so strong. So that gives you guys a really good idea. Let me know in the comments below what you thought on this video, showing you guys a really nice example, and hopefully this was really entertaining for you guys to see these different versions. 3 P.E.K.K.A.s, 8 healers, it's crazy. Other than that though guys, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell for more educational and entertaining Clash of Clans content. Make sure you guys go ahead and follow me over on the social, and remember guys to go ahead and check out the videos right over here, like right here. Make sure you guys check out those videos. Those are the Town 11 versus Town 12 and Town 13. Those are good right now during the Clan War Leagues. So make sure you guys watch those ones. I would heavily recommend it. And other than that though guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Corrupt, signing out.